25 Best Employee and Boss Relationship Chinese Drama. Boss and Me. The story is about the romance between Zhu Shenshan, a young office lady, and her boss Feng Tang. One night, Shenshan got an urgent call from hospital. She was asked to give Feng Yia, her boss's younger sister, a blood transfusion. To show his gratitude, Feng Tang offered lunch for Shenshan every day. Shenshan and Feng Tang's relationship got closer and closer. About his love. A love story between the president of a company who develops a severe case of ox that prohibits him from interacting with women and the one person that he is immune to. Love Me If You Dare. Simon or Jin Yan is a criminal psychologist who returns to China from the US after a close encounter with a serial killer, but his ordeal is not over yet. Together with his assistant, Jenny or Jian Yao Sandra Ma, they solve mysterious and violent criminal cases. Well-intended love. A third-rate actress with leukemia becomes entangled with CEO Ling because she needs him for treatment. In order to receive bone marrow transplants sooner and to continue her career as an actress, Lin enters into a secret marriage with Ling Yizhou, the CEO of a company. Despite the conspiracies and misunderstandings they encounter, the two find true love. Our glamorous time. Li Zicheng Jin Han is a soldier who is forced to return as the CEO of his family's failing company, the Aida Group. Lin Qianzhou Li Ying is a budding entrepreneur who has the knowledge and enthusiasm but has so far been unable to start up a successful business. When she goes to work for Kim Jin, can Lin Qian's expertise help him save the company from a verge of bankruptcy? Lucky's First Love. A story about first love and romances from the perspective of three couples in the workplace. It follows an independent young woman brimming with potential who crosses paths with a black-bellied boss. When a snail falls in love. Detective Ji Bai has to train a new recruit, the criminal profiler Zuzu. Although she is great at determining one's thoughts, she doesn't know how to interact well with people. But that's not the reason why Ji Bai intend to fire her. She's very talented in the art of profiling, yet lacks in physical ability, running as slowly as a snail. Still, impressed by each other's abilities, the teacher-student pair slowly fall in love in the midst of their investigations. Pretty Li Hu is Zen. Li Haizan Dilraba Dilmarat was a beauty in her younger years, but years of hardship on her family has taken a toll on her physical appearance. Her childhood friend Bai Hao Yu Yilan Shang experiences a reverse fortune, and his dapper good looks in adulthood is an outward manifestation of his prosperity later in life. Hear to Heart. Zhang Nangxian is a sharp young man who was able to foresee the technological boom. He collaborated with his classmates to create a company and was able to weather the storm despite only 10% chance of success. Wen Nuan is an accomplished career woman who quits her high-paying job in England to work under Nan Shan as his executive assistant. As it turns out, they were a couple before, and Wen Nuan is determined not only to help Nan Shan at work, but also to rekindle the love that they have lost. Les Interpretes. Determined to become a French translator, Qiao Fei Yangmi immerses herself in her studies. But when this competitive university student meets Cheng Jia Yang Huang Zuan, a famous translator, she discovers a whole new side to French. In this love-hate relationship, can Qiao Fei and Huang Zuan master the language of love, or are the barriers too incomprehensible? The Queen of Sop. After a failed relationship with her former boss and ex-boyfriend Gao Ziki, Lin Zhaoji decides to start her own business with the support of her internet pal Tom. When she finds out that one of her employees, Tang Jun, is actually Tom, and that he's the son of a wealthy business tycoon, she begins to doubt his intentions, resulting in a series of misunderstandings. Cheat My Boss. Choo Choo's life changes when she gets crushed by a bag of underwear which fell out of the sky from nowhere, and from then on she became an internet celebrity. She begins her journey to learn the ropes in the e-commerce industry, which leads her to meet Luo Tianyi, a CEO of a famous lingerie company who grew up being doted on by his mother. Sweet Dreams. Ling Ling Ki Dilraba Dilmarat is a sweet young woman who works at a hotel. Her low self-esteem keeps her from truly succeeding at work and from acting on her secret crush on her fellow co-worker, Bo Hai Deng Lun. All that changes when Ling Qi and Bo Hai participate in a company research project on sleep patterns. When Ling Qi's high-tech sleep monitoring bracelet malfunctions, she discovers that she can enter Bo Hai's dreams. Can Ling Qi find the courage to act on her true feelings for Bo Hai in his dreams? The Fox's Summer. Gu Cheng's, adopted son of old Mrs. Gu, was tasked to groom her grandson Gu Chengyan into the next heir to take over the family's corporate organization. To do so, he becomes Gu Chengyan's assistant. During this time, he meets fashion designer Li Yanshu, who was Gu Chengyan's ex-girlfriend and was a very important person in his life. Gu Zhengz then recruits Li Yanshu into the company, thinking it would serve as motivation for Gu Chengyan to work hard. When Gu Chengyan sees Li Yanshu, he decides to pursue her again. Meanwhile, old Mrs. Gu got to know about this and tasked Gu Chengz to break the two apart. Gu Zhengz and Li Yanshu then began to fall in love. Flipped. Handsome CEO Qikun Gao Han Yu comes from a magical family and has the secret power of teleportation, while his sister, Qitian Lin Yuru, can see into the future. While in the hospital, Qitian has a premonition that her brother will fall in love with a painter. On the same day, Qikun teleports himself to a building. Coincidentally, there a new mural is being painted and he accidentally teleports in front of the lips of a painter, Shuang Shujing Charlene Chan. Could it be that this cold CEO just found the romance he's always been looking for? My Mr. Mermaid. A young swimmer tries to stage a comeback 3 years after a scandal. Tang Yibai is a former champion swimmer who was wrongfully accused of doping that derailed his competitive career 3 years ago. He returns after a 3-year hiatus to compete for the South Physical Education College alongside his best friend, Qi Ruifeng, against their biggest rival, Hang Yang, of North Physical Education College. At the competition, Yibai meets rookie sports reporter Yun Duo, who is assigned to cover the competition but has a fear of water due to a near-drowning incident in her past. Yun Duo also happens to rent a room in Yibai's family home, and the two become good friends. Can Yun Duo encourages Yibai to prove his innocence in his past scandal and regain his swimming glory? Love is fate. The three friends Ma Dongshan, Han Di Chang, and Song Tianming set up a hotel together. 30 years later, Ma Dongshan has fallen ill, Han Di Chang died early and Song Tianming lost his son. Therefore, Ma Dongshan, who is the chairman, wants his daughter Ma Qiai to inherit the hotel and calls her back from abroad. Across the ocean to see you. Su Mang, who lives overseas, took office in a tourism corporation. After Su Meng's marriage to husband Tianzu Chang, her temperament greatly changed, and Tianzu Chang requested for a divorce. After the divorce, Su Meng applied to her current company to return to China, and the company approved of her to go back to China, and she becomes the CEO in one of their branch offices. During her trip, a misunderstanding happened between her and the corporation's hotel connoisseur, Zhang Chu. Once Su Meng started her term in the new company, she laid off many workers, and Zhang Chu managed to luckily escape. Meanwhile, the employees are gossiping about how their new female superior was abandoned by her husband. Zhang Chu helped Su Meng resolve this embarrassing situation and left a good impression on Su Meng, but how will the rest of their story lay out? If pair is downcast, a successful lawyer, with a great career, ruined man Jun King Zi was living the good life. With a bright future ahead of her and a good man at her side, she had it all. Everything in her life was perfect, until the day her boyfriend's company fell into a major financial crisis. In youth, after graduation, Lin Zi was fortunate enough to get a position at Phylin, an accomplished PR firm with a good reputation. Unfortunately, she immediately gets on the wrong side of her boss Fan Shukin. At the same time, the company faces corporate leakages such that Fan Shukin suspects that Lin Ziyu may be the culprit. The two resolve misunderstandings and work together to find the real culprit. Along the way, they start falling for each other. 10 years late, a story about six young individuals with different backgrounds and different outlooks who work hard to build a life for themselves in the big city. Jin Ren gives up his high-paying position abroad for the sake of his love and his dreams. He takes up a job as the chief operating officer of a tourism company and gets reunited with his first love Yuan Lai as he jumps at the chance to pursue her again. Career woman Zhu Xinyi crosses paths with professional gamer Ding Yang to start their lives as a couple, but things do not turn out as planned due to an unexpected tragedy. Zhao Chengzi, a lawyer making strides in establishing his own practice, butts heads with intern Shen Shuang, and her bright and bubbly personality brings excitement to his otherwise monotonous life. Love Actually. Ding Renjian is a married man with a child. He suddenly loses his job and starts working for DZ Wei, who is a young IT genius. DZ Wei is interested in King Huan, an older woman who works for his father's restaurant chain. When Ding Renjian and King Huan first meet, they start fighting but rapidly develop a strong friendship. When Ding Renjian loses his wife and his life crumbles, and King Huan supports him and their relationship grows stronger. Best time. In high school, Suman Janine Chang fell in love with Song Yijian Liang, a student with good academics and superior basketball skills. She was then admitted to Tsinghua University School of Management and have never heard about him since. 10 years later, Suman finds out that Song Yi is back from the United States and is the new director of MG Company. She decides to join the company and applies for a clerk post, faking her resume. Yes, Mr. Fashion. In order to find out the truth about his mother's death, the heir of Feng Sheng Group Sheng Bo Ren joins a fashion magazine publisher while hiding his identity. There he meets his rival at work, the naive and optimistic Li Zhaokue. Due to a strange combination of circumstances, the two bickering colleagues end up living together and gradually fall in love with each other. Shall We Fall in Love? A story filled with hilarious circumstances that leave you not knowing whether to laugh or cry. It follows a young man's journey from nothing into someone who proves himself at work and wins over love and friendship.